learner. Third one is a weak learner. Now we are going to combine to make with a strong learner. Okay, combining the weak learners to make a strong learner is the boosting algorithm. Okay, so this once you first time you may fail, second time, third time, fail in terms of not with respect to real-time interviews. Okay, first time you fail, the word of first time if you fail, if I'm saying something like that means not in the real-time interviews. Go to the interview. If you fail also don't worry, you'll go for the next interview. I'm not saying that one. Okay, you should not fail in the first interview also. Okay, before to the first interview itself, you have to prepare of yourself. Why you have to fail in the first interview, in the real-time interview only? Why you can't take the same interview questions from the Google first itself? Whatever the things you want, and in the interview room, what happens? Generally in the interview room, what happens? Starting, they'll start with respect to tell me about yourself. You should be ready with this. Second question, they are going to ask with respect to what is the knowledge you are having on the data science, means projects. And they are going to ask the related subject related questions on the projects. In the tell me about yourself only, you have to highlight about yourself, whatever the certification you have got, whatever the Kaggle you have got, whatever the projects you have done, all these things, how many algorithms you know, all these things you have to highlight yourself. Sir, my name is this one, my father name is this one, my mother name is this one, I'm coming from an agriculture background, I'm native is Vijayawada. Who asked all these things? Are you sitting in front of me for job purpose or marriage purpose? Why for me, your family background? Your family background is required for family with respect to for marriage purpose. At the time you have to tell what is your father and what is your grandfather, what from where, what is your origin, from where you have born. You have to say all these things. Why for me all those things? Just you have to highlight about the data science only. Okay, data science only you have to highlight. In terms of tell me about yourself means you have to highlight how much of content you are having related to data science. I am familiar with 30 plus algorithms. I am familiar with, I have done with respect to more than 10 real-time projects. And I have done with from various domains. And I have done this NASCOM certification. Don't say that I have done that training in Nareshati. That is a special. If you pay 15,000 means everyone will join. There is no rule. There is no exam, written exam is nothing there. You are not special person in the Nareshati. Don't highlight that one. There is no use. Not only in Naresh IT, nowhere if you pay the fees and if you have enrolled the course means that institute is no use. There is no use of that institute name in the interview room. You have written some exam and you have qualified for that program from IITs or IIMs. You have written this, there is an entrance test, sir. After writing that entrance test only, they have hired me. Means that certificate is valid one. Then you have to say that I am from BITS, sir. BITS admission you can't get directly by paying the fees. Go and pay the fees, whether they will give or not, I will see. If you can bring me BTech IIT Madras, in IIT Madras or IIT of your choice, any IIT of your choice, if you can get a BTech admission, I am going to pay for you 20 lakhs. I'm ready as of now, on the spot. Now itself. If you want, you can try today itself. Today evening, if you can bring me, today evening only I will pay. I'm ready. Right? If you pay 15,000 in Naresh IT, means everyone will get, na? So that is no need of highlighting about yourself. That will be degrading yourself. If you keep that Naresh IT word or something like this, not only Naresh IT. Sir, you are working in Naresh IT and you are saying Naresh IT very low level. I'm not saying Naresh IT low level. Those things if I write means myself, I'm degrading ourselves. We have to highlight with respect to, we have to upgrade ourselves and we have to showcase ourselves means when there is something special is that one only we have to project ourselves. Cheap things don't project. Right? So if you are from IIT or IIM or BITS or something like this, then you can project yourself. Otherwise, simply say that, sir, I am familiar with these many projects from these many domains. Projects you can highlight. Machine algorithms you can highlight, how many number of algorithms you are familiar with. And with respect to your certification, NASCOM certification you can highlight. If you are having Kaggle means Kaggle rank you can highlight. All these are highlights in the tell me about yourself. without saying your with respect to where you have born, from where you have came, nothing. Only highlight, tell me about yourself means tell about how much you know about the data science. That is the meaning. Okay, right? And they are going to ask, okay, this many projects you have worked out. Okay, what is the project which you have worked recently? I will be asking that question. You are going to say whichever your favorite project is there, that is your favorite, that is the one which you have worked recently. Obviously, because you are not going to keep in the projects in the company. In the company's projects means you have to keep in the serial order. If I worked in the particular company TCS from the year of 2013 to 2014, and Infosys from 2014 to 2019, and from Google from 2019 to 2022, something if I'm writing this, this should be in the serial order. For you, there is no serial order. For your projects, there will be no serial order. So, which is the latest project which you have worked means which are your favorite topic is that is your recent project, obviously. And they are going to ask you, okay, what is that project? Can you explain? You are going to start that, so this is the project about. And from then the process will be started. And the interview questions will be there. We know this is the process. I'm going to say you what is the exact process. Okay, one by one, step by step, I will tell you. And how to build a resume, how to check your resume score. All these things, everything I'm going to say in the class. What you have to do after that, you should make sure of yourself 100% confident. At that time, you have to apply for the interview. Don't try for the luck. Don't fail in the interviews. Don't depress yourself. Don't say that there is no jobs. Okay. Simply do from your end what are the things you can do, and finally enter into the interview room. In the interview room, if you feel some kind of fear, now this is the subject wise completed. Next one will be having fear. Okay. Fear should be lost means you have to speak continuously. Sitting silently in the last bench or front bench and seeing the board like this only means the fear will continue as it is. In the online, multiple students are there, but every time Sadhana will ask multiple questions. She was active. Okay, every time she will type. Okay, so somewhat active, na? She is not having any kind of fear that, okay, sir will think in this way, nothing. That is right one. There should not be fear. You should ask whatever it is. Okay, if some others are laughing, what happens? Who knows that on the July 1st in this class, we have made a joke and few of them has laughed. Who is the person who has laughed on July 1st and who is the person who made the joke? Can anyone remember? Same thing. Today, if you joke also, there is no use. If someone sees at you and they are laughing also, there is no use because they can't remember you. This course is going to be completed in just 1 month. So almost 20, we have reached 20th. So by next month ending, that is August ending, the course is going to be completed. From September 1st, who knows others? Whether you both are going to work in the same company? Huh? No. Okay, if you are working in the same company also, what is the use? You may sit in the same project. No. Okay, if you are sitting in the same project, you have to work in the same work. Na? Who is going to give for the same work for 2 different members? In the company, no one will give like that. For this person, different work and that person, different work. So don't worry about others. Don't say others, whether they are laughing or whether they are saying that, and whether, if you are asking some doubts means what they are feeling, nothing. Think practically what happens. Right? So we know these things, fear. Now how to overcome fear means in terms of speaking. Now, interview questions. Now how to check the interview questions? You are having with a friend now. Everyone are having friends, right? So ask your friend to interview you. Ask your friend who is sitting side to you. Ask your friend to interview you. He is going to interview. And while he is asking some questions, don't see at him and laugh at him. If you see at him and laugh at him, automatically the same thing will be replicated in the interview room. Think that this person is an interviewer for me. Don't laugh at him. Obviously, when our friends are asking some questions, we will get obviously laugh. In front of him, if you are sitting, means obviously we'll get the smile on our face and we'll laugh. But I feel that this is an interview. And ask him to ask some questions. How he is going to ask means he has to open the Google. He will open the Google, and from the Google, whatever the questions he'll identify, he'll ask you. Whenever he's asking easy questions, you'll think that, array, this much of easy. Okay, I will tell. You say like this. Whenever he's asking difficult questions, first you know, na? You say, don't say like this. Think that this is an interview question. Think that it's an interview question and answer to that. If your friend is asking a difficult questions for you, after the interview was completed, you will get the chance to interview him. Na? At that time, you increase the double dose. Take the revenge by asking more difficult questions. Now he will again ask the difficult questions. You will ask still more difficult questions. He will increase the dose. You will increase the dose. Obviously, subject will increase. The same thing we'll do in the IIT. Before our interviews in the month of December, we'll prepare in that way in the November. Our professor has told the same strategy to us. Tell me about yourself, tell me about yourself, how I'm performing in front of interviewers, how I want to see my face, whether I'm saying correctly or my hand is shaking or something. I used to go in front of mirror and I used to say to the mirror. By seeing the mirror and I'm speaking, miss, others will think that I'm mad, na? Or in my face, if I'm saying to my face only, miss, obviously I'll get laugh also, right? How to control all these things? That makes everything. So knowing the strategy is different and applying the strategy is different. Now I have told you. Now how many are going to apply? That is of your choice. In our IIT or IIM, we used to apply everything in the bids or everything. We used to do like this completely. Okay, we ask that, you ask the interview questions, ra. They'll ask me, easy or difficult? Whatever you want. Don't ask easy questions, don't ask difficult questions, don't ask moderate questions. Whatever you feel, you ask me. But that should be an interview question, not your personal question or something like that. Interview questions. Sir, how to get that interview questions? Miss, in Google, type interview questions on particular topic name. You'll get some interview questions. Write all the interview questions in a Word document. Open a Word document. In that, write all the questions. Gather all the questions. From the Google, how many websites you are having. Every website, gather all the interview questions and copy paste. If possible, answer also. One day before, if you prepare this Word document also, it's sufficient. You'll get the job. From the day one onwards, I have told you number of interview questions, multiple interview questions. This will be asked in the interview. This will be asked in the interview. They'll ask like this. They'll ask like this. I have told you, right? And I ask you to bring one separate book also for interviews questions, to write the interview questions also separate book. At the starting, I have given you the hint also. How many you have followed or I don't know, but I have given the hint at the starting also. That I'll be covering off these many interview questions. Please take a note of that and bring the separate notes for your interview questions. I ask that one. Now, I have done in the same way. The Word document I have created, and in this I have copied all the interview questions. I'm having almost 1500 to 2000 interview questions are there with me. Now, generally students will ask, sir, can you share with us? I will not share. I will not share. While reading that one after one, if I share directly the Word document, you will read with respect to the one question after one question, and you will feel that as a textbook or a notes. But if you browse in the internet, you will feel that by typing different websites, different questions, and the answers, the way of explanations in the same question in a different website, the answer will be different. Then you learn the more things, right? If I share directly, means you'll learn less things. If I explain like that, means you'll learn more things, right, guys? So in that way, you have to prepare, right? So here, we are having with respect to in the Google, whatever the interview questions or whatever the classroom questions we are discussing in the class, whatever the questions we are discussing in the class, 95% of the interview questions will be in that only. 100% guarantee. This statement is 100% guarantee. What is the statement? Statement is in the class, whatever we are discussing, within that 95% of the interview questions. If they have asked you 10 questions only, means in that 9.5 questions. Check. If you want, you can check and please let me know. Sir, okay, sir, I will check, sir. Okay, I will let you know. What is the use for me? If it is proven wrong, what is the use for me? I will refund your fees. 15,000 amount I will give. Offer is nice, sir. If it is proved wrong, I will give 15,000 back. To how many students, miss? How many students prove? Those many number of students. Still more offer is nicer. Clear, right? So 95% of the interview questions will be solved in the class only. Okay. Sadhana has asked that question. How many number of interview questions will be this one? What is the questions percentage from the Google? Why Google? In the class only I am saying now. Google is 100%. You have not browsed means what I have to do. But in the Google, every website will have multiple questions now. How many websites you have browsed? I don't know, right? Whether you have browsed only one website or two websites, I don't know anything. Right? It is very clear, right? The only thing is you have to showcase your resume. Once you get shortlisted, you have to prove your subject. Automatically job will come. Okay. So here, let us get into this. Here we are having with respect to the multiple weak learners. We are going to combine the multiple weak learners. These weak learners we are having now. These weak learners we are going to combine and we are going to make a strong learner. Sir, what is meant by these weak learners? Let us understand. Boosting is an algorithm which is called as sequential learning. One of the interview question. What is the difference between parallel learning and sequential learning? Sequential learning means from one, you'll get the output. From this output, you'll understand, and according to that, the second one will be designed. And after the output of the second one, the third one will be designed. That is called as sequential learning. The sequence, the third one is getting dependent on the second one. The second one will be dependent on the first one output. Okay. So this is called as sequential learning. Right? Parallel learning means yesterday bagging technique we have seen, right? Independent. Every decision tree is independent. There is no dependency between the first decision tree and second decision tree. Some of the data is taken for decision tree 1, some of the data is taken for decision tree 2. Randomly. That too randomly has been selected. So there is no dependency between the decision trees. There is no dependency between the decision trees. So now there is no dependency between the decision trees means it is going to make with respect to independent. They are independent to each other. They are called as parallel learning. Okay. Whereas sequential learning means with respect to this. Right? Now let us understand sequential learning very clearly. That is, first one is adabosst. Okay. In adabosst, the boosting techniques, the first boosting technique is called as adabosst, which is also called as adaptive boosting. Which is also called as adaptive boosting. Right? Now in this adaptive boosting, what we are going to do is, in terms of, we are going to select the model number 1, model 2, model 3, like this we are going to have multiple models. Let us understand this is a sample data. And for this sample data, pluses are there, minuses are there, and I want to do the, with respect to classification. We know decision tree means, what is meant by decision tree? Drawing a line like this. Okay. You are drawing a line like this. You are drawing a line like this. Like this we are going to draw now. These individual lines like this drawing, and we are going to classify them. Okay. Now that whatever the things we are going to do, say this is first one. In that entire things, first you are going to draw a line like this. After drawing a line, please observe this one. First you have drawn a line like this. After this, you have observed these categories are everything are blue and these are everything are red. That is orange. Now, how many has been misclassified? Correctly classified, correctly classified. Blue to blue, correctly classified. In this, how many has been misclassified? 3 of them. These 3 are misclassified. Now you are going to focus only on the misclassified records. Okay. It will focus only on the misclassified records and it will make sure these misclassified records are correctly classified. In the second weak learner, the concentration of this one to be classified correctly. Forget about others will be classified or not. That forget. These 3 should be classified. 100% these 3 should be classified correctly. It will design in such a way. So it has designed now line like this. Now these 3 correctly classified. Whatever the error is there here, the error has been rectified here. But this time you have got with respect to 3 new errors. Now these errors has to be rectified in the third one. In this case, this errors has been correctly classified. Now if you combine all these three, the first one, first line, second one, second line, third one, third line. If you combine everything, 100% everything classified correctly. First one, second one, and third one. Separately you are going to do. In the first one, what are the misclassification records are there? It is classified in the second algorithm correctly. In the second algorithm, or whatever the weak learner it is having, it is whatever the misclassified records are there, it is classifying in the third one. Okay. Now, sir, in the decision tree also we are going to make anyways lines like this only. Na? What is the difference between the decision tree and this adabosst? Here, you are going to make at a time only one line, not multiple lines at a time. Sir, why one line only? Because you are going to write only one condition, and based on the condition, either true or false you are going to get. I mean, a root node with 2 leaf nodes only. Decision tree will be completed. If one condition is there, means one line only. Na? Multiple conditions are there, multiple lines will be there. One condition means only one line you can draw. In the adabosst, each weak learner is called as stump. Okay. In adabosst, each learner is called as a, in adabosst, each weak learner is known as stump. S-T-U-M-P, stump. Now, what is meant by stump? Stump is nothing but one root node with 2 leaf nodes is called as stump. One root node with 2 leaf nodes is called as stump. So, which is nothing but this one with respect to this one. This is called as stump. Simply to say, maximum depth of is equal to 1. Decision tree with maximum depth of 1 is called as stump. Okay. So now each weak learner is a stump. Now first weak learner is a stump, and adabosst assigned with respect to this one, the first weak learner, second week learner, and third week learner, and it is going to combine everything, not voting technique. In between them, it is not or, it is plus symbol, combining. From, sir, how this algorithm was designed, how this line was designed, since here these three are misclassified, this was created. For example, this was misclassified, means according to that it will be created. Based on whatever the misclassified records in the first one, the second algorithm is getting dependent. So here the decision trees are independent on each other. The decision trees are dependent on each other. Whereas in the bagging technique or random forest, they are independent to each other. So there is an interview question. What is the difference between bagging and boosting? Difference between bagging and boosting. In the bagging, we are going to have parallel learning. In the bagging, parallel learning. Parallel learning means in terms of decision trees are independent to each other. Independent decision trees independent to each other. There is no dependency between them. And we are going to apply the technique called as mode or voting. Okay, voting technique or mode, simply mode, which is most repeated, which is most repeated answer. That one we are going to select in the bagging technique. Whereas boosting, it is a sequential learning. Boosting technique is a sequential learning where decision trees are dependent to each other. Here also decision tree only, node, root node and leaf nodes. How the root node is selected means based on Gini index or entropy. Same thing. The only difference between a decision tree and a adabosst is a decision tree with maximum depth of 1 is called as adabosst of weak learner. Decision trees, what are the decision trees? Individual decision trees are there. They are dependent to each other. And sequential learning. And here we are going to apply the concept called as combining the learners. We are not going to take the voting technique. We are going to take combining. We are going to combine them. Right? That is the difference between the bagging technique and boosting technique. Not only adabosst, other boosting technique also the same. The way of treating the misclassified records will be different. One will treat in a different way, one will treat in a different way, but everything will focus only on the misclassified records only, not on the correctly classified records. Okay. Now, how this boosting technique works? First step, total you are having, for example, you are having like this. The actual Y is yes, yes, no, yes, no, yes. Something you are having like this. Right? Now, your predicted Y. You are having a predicted Y. In the predicted Y, you have predicted yes, no, yes, yes, no, yes. Okay. Total, how many has been misclassified? This is correctly classified. Wrongly, wrong, correct, correct, correct. 2 out of 6 has been misclassified. Now, first, total how many records are there? 6 records. So, each record will be given of equal weight. That is 1 by 6, 1 by 6, 1 by 6, 1 by 6, 1 by 6 and 1 by 6. Initially, everything are equal. Now, it is going to observe how many records have been misclassified. 2 records. What is the weight of those 2 records? 1 by 6 plus 1 by 6. That is nothing but summation of misclassified records. Weights of misclassified records. It is the second step it will apply. And it will calculate whatever the weight. And from that, it is going to calculate the third step is, see, first one is initialization of weight of everything of equal. From that, it will identify how many has been misclassified. Okay. Now, in that, now it is going to take weighted sum. That is weighted of the sum of that one. Whatever the weighted is there, that it is going to consider. From that, it is going to calculate the alpha value. Alpha value is nothing but ln of 1 minus total error divided by total error. So, which is nothing but, in our case, ln of 1 minus 2 by 6 divided by 2 by 6. Total error we have got is 2 by 6 now. Weight of the weights of misclassified records, that it is going to substitute here. And it is going to calculate the alpha value. Once the alpha value is calculated, next it is going to assign the new weight. The new weight is equal to the old weight into e to the power of alpha into total error. Now, earlier the weight is 1 by 6, 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 like this is there. Everything of equal weights are there. Now, it is going to change the weight. Let us take a simple example. So, y and y hat. So, whatever the records I am having, total assume 5 records only for calculation purpose. 5 I am selecting only for calculation purpose, out of which one of them is misclassified. Initially, the weight, initial weight is 0.2, 0.2, 0.2, 0.2. That is 1 by 5, 0.2. Everything of 0.2. One of them is misclassified. Now, what happened is, in terms of, I'm going to calculate the sum of the weights of misclassified records. Sum of weights of misclassified records only. Misclassified records. That is 0.2, only one record now, so 0.2. Now I'm going to calculate alpha. Alpha is ln of 1 minus 0.2 divided by 0.2. I have calculated alpha value. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to calculate the new weight of new. Now what happens, earlier it is with respect to like this. Now the weights will be changed. So it is going to have 0.21, 0.21, 0.42, 0.21, something it has got like this, assume. Some weights, either it decreases or increases, whatever it happens, some weights has been changed. But surely the misclassified record weight will be increased. Now what you are going to do is, you are going to normalize this one because the sum of the weight should be 1. You are going to normalize. When you are normalizing, again it will come back to the original position and this weight will be somewhat high. When this weight is somewhat very high, now it understands that this particular record is misclassified by the second machine learning algorithm. For the second machine learning algorithm, I am going to give the weight as this one. Now, for the second decision tree, now what is the initial weights means whatever the answer you have got here, this is the initial weights for this one. And it is going to continue the process. You know what is meant by initial weights and you know how to calculate after that, you know everything step by step. The same thing will be done to the second one. Same thing to the third one. Like this, it is going to continue till where it is going to stop means whenever it gets the accuracy of 100%, at that time it will stop. All the records are correctly classified till that. It is going to work. Right? So the same process. Just what is the thing is identifying the misclassified records and updating the weights of the misclassified records. Increasing the weight of the misclassified record to the second machine learning algorithm is called as adabosst. If in the interview they are going to ask you, can you explain the adabosst means? You don't need to say the formulas. Just you have to say the concept that adabosst works on the principle called as stumps. Each weak learner is called as a stump. Immediately they will ask what is meant by stump. Sir, stump means a decision tree with maximum depth of 1 means nothing but one root node with 2 leaf nodes is called as stump. Okay, stump is clear. Now please continue. Now in the adabosst, each weak learner, the first weak learner, what are the misclassified records are there, and the second weak learner is going to focus on the misclassified records of the first weak learner. The second weak learner is focusing on the misclassified records of the first weak learner. You are going to say, okay, how it is going to focus? Sir, we are going to increase the weights in the first week learner after once the process is done. What are the weights are there? We are going to increase the weights of the misclassified records. Since the weights has been increased, now it clearly indicates that these are misclassified. Which are correctly classified will be the weights will be different, and which are wrongly classified the weights will be different. Okay, all the correct classified records, the weight will be only 1. Same value will be there. Some x value, whatever the value is there, that value only it will have. For the misclassified record, it will have different value, some more than that. For example, in this case, I am having the total 5 records are there. Out of 5 records, this record is misclassified. 0.1, 0.1, 0.1, 0.1. For this, 0.6 will be there. So more weight is there means it is misclassified. If every weight is same means everything are correctly classified, completed. That is the process of adabosst. Is that clear? Coding part is dead easy. Nothing. Coding nothing will be there. Right? If you want, we'll start the coding of the adabosst. If I explain the coding and immediately I'll explain the gradient boost also. Today only I'll explain the gradient boost also so that you can understand very clearly difference between them. Or if you want the break and if you want to prepare yourself and you want to observe that one, and after doing that one, if you want to see means as per your choice. Okay. See, here first I am going to work on the data set, which is mushroom data set. Okay. So here we are having different types of mushrooms. Everyone knows mushrooms, na? So mushroom image is this one. In the mushrooms, we are having different types of mushrooms are there. Okay. Different types of mushrooms are there. That too, poisonous mushrooms are also available and non-poisonous mushrooms are there. Whatever we are eating is non-poisonous. And some poisonous mushrooms are also available in the thing. Where it is available, I don't know. It is available. Okay. Location, I don't know. Okay. So now here we are having with respect to the mushrooms. Na? What are the mushrooms we are having? We are going to classify whether the mushroom is with respect to poisonous or non-poisonous. Now, sir, are we going to work this type of data in the real time? No. We are not going to work this type of project in the real time. Then why you are explaining this one, sir? mushroom data set. Next question immediately. So why I have selected this data? Because this data consists of total 23 columns. 23 are discrete categorical only. None of them is continuous is there. Suddenly tomorrow if you see less type of data, you should not get shocked. Na? So I want to explain something, right? That is the reason I have selected this data set. Is that clear? Actually, earlier I used to explain for the previous batches with some other data set. One student has got this question and he asked me, sir, I have got a data set, sir, where only categorical is there, nothing numeric is there. What I have to do, sir? He asked me that question. Then I have taught what we have to do. Then if the same question was asked in the further batches by different students also, there is a probability, right? So let us take one project in the similar category and we'll keep in one of the algorithm. So that is the reason I have selected this one, right? Now in this data set, you are having total 23 columns. All the 23 columns are with respect to categorical only. And that to multi-class. Okay. So here cap shape is the one of the column name. This is the cap shape. This is the class. Class is the output variable. In the output variable, either you are having with respect to E or P. P means poisonous. E means which is eatable. You can eat. P means poisonous. P or E. Letter P indicates poisonous. Letter E indicates with respect to eat, which is you can eat. Now, here next one is cap shape. In the cap shape, if you observe, X is there, B is there, K is there, F is there, something you are having the letters. What is the meaning of that? B means bell. C means conical. X means convex. F means flat. With respect to K means knobbed. Like this we are having with respect to these are the different shapes we are having. Right, this complete data I have explained here. Okay, now if you observe this one and if you go into the detailedness of this one and if you do the research for this and you'll understand these are the different names only. Everything are nominal data. None of them is even ordinal is there. Everything are nominal. So if you observe the info, total you are having with 23 columns, 8,124 records are there and 23 columns are there. Now, here if you get into the class, the output variable, which is having E and P only, which is E category, you are having 4,200 records, P category, you are having 3,900 records. And if the same thing, value counts you want to represent in the bar miss, you are going to represent like this. And you are going to do some EDA, the graphs, multiple graphs you are going to do, combinations you are going to apply. Now, we are going to take the describe function. But in the describe function, if you observe, class is having only 2 records. And with respect to cap shape is having 6 different classes. Cap surface is having 4 different classes. Cap color is having 10 different classes. These many different classes we are having. Multiple classes we are having. Multiple categories are there. Now, what we have to do is nothing we have to do. Just dummies only. Nominal data means just dummies only. Sir, now the question is, we are going to apply the dummies out of which class variable I am dropping and remaining everything whatever I am having that I am going to convert to dummies. Yesterday also I have done the same thing. The same code yesterday also I have done. Right? In the decision tree and the random forest I have applied the same code. Right? Now, here I am doing that same thing. Now, in the X variable, if you observe, now the X variable after dummies, total 95 columns has there. Earlier it is 23 columns. The input data is 23. Okay, what is the input data? Info. Total 23 they have given. Out of 23, 1 is with respect to output variable, means 22 input variables, 22x and 1 is y. Now this 22 has been converted to 95, 22 to 95. Y variable as it is, leave that one as it is. X variable itself has been converted to from 22 x variables to 95 x variables. Now the question is, sir, 95 means large amount of data. Now how I have to proceed? Same technique, nothing changed. Nominal data means we can't do anything. Okay. So we have to take with respect to here 95 data, whatever we are having. So if you observe, we are having total X of 95 columns, Y of 1 column only. Whereas X is having 95 columns. Now, if you take this one, random, I'm taking from 10 test split and applying this adabosst classifier. What is the coding means? 3 lines of code. Import, Save, fit, same import, same saving the model. Adabosst classifier, yesterday random forest classifier. Name, change the name to Adabosst. Adabosst classifier and fit on the extend and byte train. Now fitted, completed, fitting is completed. What is the backend code? Is whatever we have discussed earlier. It is going to check with respect to the decision tree. For each column, it is going to try with respect to the which is the best one. Jenny value will be calculated. And after that, which is the best one, it will be calculated. And based on that, it will calculate the root node with the leaf nodes. And weak learner 1 will be done, followed by weak learner 2, followed by weak learner 3. Everything will be done. Total, how many weak learners are there? Miss? By default, it is going to consider with 50. 50 is the by default. Base estimator is with respect to the Adabosst works on the decision tree. Sir, I don't want the decision tree, sir. By default, it is going to have the decision tree classifier as the with initialization maximum depth of 1. No, sir, I want to create one more algorithm, sir. That algorithm I want to place here. Okay, right, base estimator is equal to that algorithm. Save that one model in a name and that model you write here. By default, it is decision tree with maximum depth of 1. Okay, I want to apply with different algorithm like logistic regression or KNN. Write that KNN and save in a model name that you give it is here as a model and it will work according to that. Right? Now, so here we are going to predict on the X train and we are going to predict on the X test. And I'm going to calculate the accuracy. Train accuracy is obviously 100. It is going to stop then only, right? Train accuracy will be 100, but in our case, test accuracy also 100. And confusion matrix, you are going to make the confusion matrix and classification report and cross validation score. Same thing. Yesterday also same thing, na? Random forest classifier. I have imported random forest classifier. Saved that one. Predicted on X train, Y train. X train followed by X test. Followed by accuracy I have checked. Followed by confusion matrix I have checked. Followed by classification report. Followed by cross validation score. Whatever I have done yesterday, same thing I am repeating today. Coding, what is the difference? If you want the coding only, miss, everything will be, classification will be completed in one day only. If I write instead of this one, instead of this Adabosst, if I write random forest classifier, coding completed. If I write decision tree classifier, coding is completed. If I write with respect to some other algorithm, coding is completed. Right? Here, if you observe that train accuracy is 100%, test accuracy also 100%. So it is a very good model, perfect model. Perfect model. Overfitting means if the train accuracy is greater than test accuracy, but both are equal means then it is not called as overfitting problem. Only overfitting is called as when train accuracy is greater than test accuracy, that too more than 5%. When train accuracy percentage is more than 5% over the test accuracy, it is called as overfitting. Right? Now, sir, in our case, okay, perfect answer you have got, but sometimes we will not get, na? So other data sets we will not get. Then we have to do hyperparameter tuning. For that, we have to reduce the overfitting or something. So we are going to see the hyperparameter tuning and Adabosst classifier you are going to take as estimator and param grid you are going to select with respect to estimators instead of 50, increase the number of decision trees. And you are going to identify and you are going to fit. What is meant by hyperparameters means for that model parameter, what are the hyperparameters can be there? For Adabosst, what are the hyperparameters can be there? N estimators is one of the parameter. So you are going to try for different N estimators. There is no fixed that 50 only you have to follow. You are going to try for different values. And you are going to apply. And you are going to get which is the best model. And you have got with respect to N estimators with respect to less than 50 means you are going to select that one. If N estimators, what are the exactly 50 means that by default value. Either this is going to decrease the time or second one is either it is going to increase the accuracy. Hyperparameter tuning will either increase the accuracy or decrease the time. And from this you are going to calculate the future importances. Same thing. Yesterday, whatever I have done, decision tree coding, random forest coding, Adabosst coding, gradient boost coding, and exit boost coding, everything will be the same. No difference between the coding. The only difference is import the model name. Fit and predict, everything is same. Yesterday I have done the same thing for the adabosst, random forest also I have done the same. How many number of decision trees has to be selected? That only I have done, right? Yesterday also in the grid set CV. The same thing I am doing. When you have to apply hyperparameter tuning, when your accuracy is low or when your model is overfitted or underfitted, at the time you have to apply hyperparameter tuning. For my case, actually I no need to apply the hyperparameter tuning because 100 and 100 I have got now. For this, I no need to apply also. But still I am showing this one. In your case, for different data set, if you get miss, what type of hyperparameter you have to consider is end estimator. Right? Now, so you are going to take with respect to end estimators from 1 to 101. It is going to take time. Obviously, hyperparameter tuning will take time because number of models we are going to do now. For one model miss, one time. For 100 models miss, it also automatically take more time. Okay. Sir, I want to take hyperparameter tuning with a different combinations, sir. More number of combinations. I want to try with 400, 500 models. If you want to try with that much of things, miss, your system should support. If your system is supporting this, try with that one also. Not a problem. If your system is not supporting this, go with simple one. Sir, my system is of i3 with 4 GB. For learning purpose, it is sufficient. Sir, in the company, but we'll have to try with all the categories. Now, miss, at the time the system configuration miss, the company will provide you the laptop. As per the project requirement, the company is going to provide the laptop. Right? It is taking time. Guys, don't think that it is your system has stuck off something. Still, you have identified the star mark. You have to feel it is working on. Okay. And it will give the answer. You have to wait. For a hyperparameter tuning, we have to wait. Sir, till how much time I have to wait, sir? 5 minutes, 10 minutes or 15 minutes means here based on the values you have given that much. Okay. But still, you have tried after 15-20 minutes and 1 hour also it is still not working. One time I have kept with respect to high values, high combinations I have kept, not in this system. In another system we have kept with respect to high values. At that time I am the student. Okay, generally student miss will have that interest that to try with different na. Sir will say something but we'll try with more things na. So I have tried in a different way. Why sir is not doing in this way and I will do and I have taught and I have done. My system was crashed. Okay. And I have went to a laptop service center. That is secondary. The main thing is I have started the hyperparameter tuning and even after 24 hours also still it is running. Even 24 hours also it is still running only. After 28th hour I have got the answer. For 24 hours, 28 hours, the system is on only. Laptop is on, charging is on. Of course, I am not seeing that one. Why? I will not see that code now. Generally, we'll start this one and we'll open the YouTube. We'll shift to YouTube or some WhatsApp or Instagram as per our choice. We'll shift off now. So I have shifted off. Again, I will come back. I will see. It is not one. Okay. Continue the YouTube. Okay. Still, it is not working. Let us go to cinema. Once we come from the cinema, it will be completed at least. I taught in that way and I went to the movie. Still, it is working. At the night also, it is working. I have slept. Morning, it has completed. When it has completed, I don't know. But by morning, it has been completed. Approximately, I assume that it is 28 hours. That type of code I have written at that time. After one day is completed, 2 days, second time also I have tried in a different way. Third time, I went to the laptop service center. Still, my laptop is there only. They told that processor has been stopped, it seems. We can't. For that motherboard, that processor. Now they asked me to change the motherboard along with the processor. The cost is going to be around 35,000. I asked you only keep this one. At that time, range, I don't remember exactly, but I have tried in a different way. That is for sure. Around 600 models. Now here trying here 100 na. 1 to 100 means 100 models. That one 600. The 600 or 6,000, I think. Something. Some heavily, differently. Okay, something I have done. I don't remember exactly the code and for which algorithm also I don't remember. But one thing I can remember is I have done something special on that day. That is the reason that one also done special. Okay. Still it is taking time. Generally, it will not take this much of time because in my trainings, I'm using for training means I have given only limited time only because I'll not have that much of unlimited time in the class now. Why it is not working, I don't know. Just let us wait for another 2 minutes. If it is not working means then we'll restart. Restart not in the system, restart the kernel. Yeah, that is the reason. That is the reason I'm saying this one. In every batch, I'll say. Otherwise, they will try now. Completed. Okay. So much of excited. Right. And I am thinking that I have to restart or something. Okay. Completed. Finally. Okay. Now 20. The answer is 20. And the same answer 20 I'm going to consider here. And I'm going to fit on the X train, Y train and predict. And I'm calculating the train accuracy and test accuracy. This is my final model. For this for 20 only, I'm getting the answer. Why I have to go for 50? Time was decreased now in one shot. That too, I have written everything in the single cell only, not in the multiple cells. Right? I'm calculating the future importances. These are the futures are important. And it is total 95 futures will be there. 95 input columns. So 95 futures. Now out of 95 futures, this one, not all of them are important. So first I'm going to convert this one to a data frame. Total 95 futures as a data frame. Now what I'm going to write is wherever the future is important greater than 0 only. That should be created as a new data frame. Now that one I'm going to create. Now only these columns 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Approximately 16 columns are good. Out of 95, only 16 columns are important. So remaining all the columns, that is 79 columns, you can remove directly. And you can make one more model with after removing the 79 columns. By selecting only these columns of 16 columns, create one more model. So you are going to use this one and you are going to make a plot like this. For each model, what is the value? So out of which is having top priority miss population underscore V. Miss, we are having in terms of multiple like this. Within this, we are having this one. In this, that too V is having this category is having the more in easy classification. It is contributing 15% to classify easy, whether it is a poisonous one or a non-poisonous one. Sir, what is this this one? And in that, what is meant by V? Exactly, can you tell us, miss? Please do the research for this. For each variable and what is the category, miss, you have to do the research. Okay, in the company, when they have given to us like this, actually, I don't know, till now I have not know what is meant by this. I have explained to multiple batches now. Till now, I have not explained. No student has asked me that question. Never I have explained that one also. If they ask me the question, I'll ask you to do the research immediately. Okay. Now, what in the company, if for me, let us assume they have given me the same data set in the company. I don't know none of them. I know mushrooms only which are sold in the shop to buy that one and to eat that one. But I don't know what is this. Okay, never I know this one. Now what I have to do is I have to do the research. For doing the research and understanding each and every variable and each and every category, they are going to give us 1 week of time. This is the data understanding. This comes under data understanding. For data understanding, I'm going to dedicate 1 week of time and I'm going to do the research of this and what is the different types of all the things I'm going to understand about the mushroom. How you are going to understand for the mushroom and all these things, miss? Who is going to support you? In your childhood, have you studied about the mushroom? Did I study the miss? I also now studied. My BTech, no one has told me about the mushroom and different types of mushrooms. So we are going to check in the Google only. In the Google, we are going to check for each and every category and we are going to understand. One after one. That is called as data understanding. Understanding each and every variable very clearly is called as data understanding. Clear? So prepare yourself. Tomorrow we are going to see the next one of gradient boost and exit boost. If gradient boost is that miss, exit boost, generally, if you know gradient boost miss, exit boost, how much time it will take, to understand exit boost? If you know this one, this is 2 minutes. To learn this one, if you understand adabosst, this will be easy. To understand adabosst, decision tree is easy. You have to understand. Whoever has sit in the decision tree class and they understand the decision tree, what is meant by root node and what is with respect to maximum depth, what is meant by leaf node. If they understand miss, today's class will be easy for them. Whoever has missed the decision tree class, sir, what is saying, sir? Every time sir is saying tree. What is this tree? They'll think like this. Obviously for them it is difficult one. Right? So make sure you prepare the today's class clearly and tomorrow we'll meet and tomorrow we'll complete the gradient boost and exit boost also.